Here we go. So the first, we're recording now, by the way. The first thing we're going to look at is, can you find the multiplier? So last Friday, we had the longest amount of time in this class because this involved lunch. So hopefully, and that may have been why we had more success on our homework too. A represents the initial amount. The multiplier is our base. The B is our multiplier. So if they give it to us as a percent, as in percent growth or decay, you would add or subtract that percentage to 1 when you changed it to a decimal. If they give it to us in basically words, whatever the word is what it is. So double is 2, triple is 3, half is a half. Okay? So for number 1, if we're finding the multiplier, which is the base for these exponential growth or decay models, for growth, we would add it to 1. So the multiplier would obviously be 1.06. For decay, we would subtract it from 1. 0.98. So when we multiply by a number that's bigger than 1, our answer will get bigger. But when we multiply by a number that's less than 1, our answer will get smaller. All right, so here for growth, we have 1 plus 0.035. So the multiplier would be 1.035. For decay, we would do 1 minus 0.0025. Don't let those percentages and decimals trick you. You still got to move it twice. So this would be 0.9975. Okay, so decay, 1 minus 0.99. Okay, a word, quadrupling, 4. Okay, now the interesting thing about quadrupling and 300% growth is they're the same. Okay, so this is 1 plus 3.00, which is 4. Okay, and then this one would be 1.0085. Any question about how to find your multiplier, your base? Okay, let's move on then. All right, number 9, the population of a city was 230,000 in the year 2000 and was projected to grow at an annual rate of 1.8%. Predict the population in the year 2000. All right, so this is going to fit into this model, y equals a times b to the x. It is exponential growth. And so in this case, the population with respect to time is equal to the initial population, 230,000 times 1.018 would be our multiplier. And how many years elapsed between 2000 and 2006?
6.
6. So we'd raise that to the 6th power. Okay, exponential growth. When we are talking about a living organism, we give it to the nearest whole. Okay, in this case, we are talking about people, population of a city. Okay, so with exponential growth, we would round down. With exponential decay, how do you round? Up. Okay, so this is growth, so we would round down, and the answer to this is approximately 255,984 people. Any questions about number 9? Did you do well? Does that one make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 10. So we have another living organism. This is bacteria, and we're doubling. All right, so the population of our bacteria with respect to time is equal to the 20 bacteria. We are doubling every 30 minutes. So if I said t is time in terms of minutes, that would be one way I could do the problem. Or if I said t is time in hours, my equation would look like this. Every 30 minutes is how many times an hour? Twice an hour. Okay? So this is what the formula would look like. So if we were to determine it after 5 hours, we would plug in 5. And 2 times 5 is 10. And this is actually an exact answer. We would have 20,480 bacteria. That's when our temperature might start to rise just a hair. Might start getting a little itchy throat. Our lymph nodes might start feeling a little tender. Yeah.
Plus
Yeah.
20,480. Yeah, okay.
How did that happen? Isn't
20
20 times 2 40? And then 40
I was
raised
right,
to
Mitchell was wrong.
It's like
You must have
40,000.
20 times.
But you forgot to square
It
it.
did. It went crazy, didn't it?
Yeah.
So we had 20
Yeah.
times.
Just in 5 hours.
That's 60.
I bet he stayed in a cold pool. I bet he got a cool
But that's
pool.
40 times
Who would
9.
do that? That's so irresponsible.
Shut up.
I wonder who did that.
60.
Who would do that for $5?
All right,
Jump
number
in
11.
three pools.
We're gonna.
Why would you do that to your body?
All right, so coal. It was once a booming industry in central Pennsylvania, but then we started focusing on clean energy, and we've kind of left coal. So, however, the industry has begun to decline. In the year 1950, there were 600,000 people that were employed in local coal mines. But since then, the number of coal miners has declined by 7% every year.
Trump's gonna bring those jobs back.
How many coal workers were employed in the year 1982? So the population of coal workers with respect to time. The initial amount of coal workers was 600,000. We are declining, so it's 1 minus our percentage as a decimal, and times 0 was the year 1950. So how many years have elapsed between 1950 and 1982?
32.
32 years. So this would be approximately, this is decay, so we would have to round which way? It's decay, so you round up. So 58,831
I trust them.
Oh,
people.
it's decay, so you're right.
Yep, it's decay, so you round up.
Me too.
So that's our number. That would be from our model what we would estimate the number of coal miners would have been in 1982. All right, now the next question, number 12, has to do with compound interest. Now, when you see the word compounded, that tells us to use the compound interest formula. There are several times that interest is compounded. Many, in this case, the compounding is to our benefit. But does anybody have a credit card?
I do. I
Yeah.
have it with me.
Do you?
Yeah, you wanna see
Okay.
my
My
plastic?
mom just put $100 on it.
That's a debit card.
That might be a debit
Oh,
card.
it's a debit card.
Yeah. You know what? You guys
Sorry.
may, I can't remember what the minimum
This
age
is
is
my
for a
credit
credit
card.
card.
I've used it.
Okay. So you may not be old enough to have a credit
Look at
card.
my
I'll get out my
credit
debit
card.
card.
So what happens with the credit card is the interest is compounded, but instead of
You guys
you
wanna see my
earning
friends?
money,
Super happy.
you would have to pay that extra money. Yeah. So, but in this case, we're earning, so we're happy. Now, this question
You have a Starbucks gift
is
card?
fabulous, but it's very fake. Okay, those of you that have a savings account, what is your savings account currently earning in interest?
Like $1,000 a month.
Yes, almost nothing. I think mine is 0.25%, which as a decimal would be 0.0025.
Over how long?
Generally compounded monthly. That means my children open their statement quarterly, every 4 months, and they're like, "Ooh, another penny!" Yeah, that's about all they're earning. Yeah.
That's not
yeah.
fair.
So,
That's probably okay.
Um,
Small. Explain how long.
My savings account for 9 years.
Okay.
savings accounts aren't earning much right now.
Don't have that.
Certificates of deposit. Have you guys ever heard of those? CDs. Not musical CDs.
Yes.
But certificates of deposit.
You're a
Those
little
are
late
not
there.
earning very much.
So delayed.
Are we still recording?
Oh my god.
Are we still recording?
So yes. Yes. All right. So let's take a look at this.
I'm gonna listen to it.
The amount of money after a given amount of time. We would use this formula where P represents our initial amount, R the interest rate, and the number of times it's compounded, and T the time in years. Now this says it's compounded quarterly, so our N would be 4.
Negative.
Now, we did just discuss that a 6% interest rate, well, we discussed current interest rates. So 6% interest rate would be fabulous, but it's definitely not realistic for any type of savings account we might currently have.
Unless you own the bank.
Even if you own the bank.
I think it's, this is wrong.
So, all right, so those of you that already tried this, great. Those of you that didn't, I'd like you to take a calculator out right now and make sure you can punch this in properly. How about everybody just show me you can? You can do it.
Can we do it on this? Because you know,
It's a lot harder to do it on
I
that.
just keep on forgetting everything.
Yeah.
On the ACC. One of them.
Your battery is frozen?
I told my chemistry teacher that I left my calculator in my truck and my battery's froze, so I can't use it today. So who got tonight? She actually believed me when I told her.
You told her what?
Who do you got tonight? My battery's froze this weekend, so I couldn't
tonight?
use it.
I'm an ACC girl, obviously.
And she
So I'm
actually
going
believed
Clemson
me.
all the way.
Yes, really?
Yeah.
Alright.
I love my
Luckily, I am not a betting girl, so.
Smarter than that.
Have you looked at the stats for the
I got a new
ACC
car.
on this whole bowl?
No, you didn't.
I did.
Yeah, they're-
We're killing it.
I got it the day after
I
Christmas Eve.
mean,
Actively.
wiping
I
everybody
mean the day after
else.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Not kidding.
Even
I'm
if
okay with that.
Clemson doesn't win, ACC still has the best bowl record.
Like the
Can't be
first-
beat.
As long as it's not any of those Midwest conferences. As long as it's not any of those others.
I think SEC is stuck, but we're number one.
For the first, this is a nice calculator, I'm gonna tell you. I think for the first few weeks, that's the ACC and the lost the game.
I don't have it up. I'm gonna be myself. I don't know.
Hey Garrett, who you got on tonight? Predictions?
I'll show you how many times
How
I've
about
charged.
you do this calculator?
6 times. I'm not gonna have to.
You should have heard what you just said, that was funny.
Do you want to know that? Why?
Oh, we're just plugging.
Why?
Yeah, yeah, I'm just trying to see if y'all can punch it in correctly.
Okay.
38.
So I gotta show you the video of us jumping this.
Alright, Sam.
What is likable about that?
I stayed in the pool for 12
Absolutely.
$5.
Some things aren't working.
I figured that out.
All right, if you did not get $1,819.13,
Spoiled.
then I need to help you figure out how to punch it in. If you did, you're good. Anybody need help? All right, you can secretively tell me later if you do. You don't want to tell me now. All right, now this would be fabulous because look, in 12 years, we more than doubled our money. Woohoo! Not realistic, but great.
12 years.
Yeah. All right, so let's look at this one. Now, does anybody see the word compound?
Is it about 39?
Yeah,
It's right there.
Alright, Clemson.
I got 1839.
You got 1839? Maybe I can't. It is. It's 1839. You guys are right. I did not read my answer correctly, and I gave my calculator to a student. Okay, thank you.
Oh, it came up prepared.
See, I was testing it. All right, this one does not have the word compound. If it does not, please do not use the compound formula. You'd be wrong. Okay? When it does say compound, we would use the compound interest. Okay. All right, the house down the street has termites in the porch. The exterminator estimates that there are about 800,000 termites. He said that the treatment would kill about 40% of the termites every day. How many termites would be eating the porch in 3 days, 36 hours, 2 weeks? All right, I see different units. So this problem is here to make you think, what is my time period measured in? The problem tells you. The problem tells you it's measured in days. So for the first one, we're good. We just start with the 800,000 termites. We're going to 1 minus the percent because they are being killed off. And it's 3 days, so it's to the third power. versus this one. This is 36 hours. That's the wrong unit. To switch hours into days, you would divide by 24. 36 divided by 24 is a day and a half. 1.5. You may not even need to. You can look at that and go, oh, a day and a half. So we do 800,000, 0.6 to the 1.5.
That'll be 1.5 days.
That's right. And then C is 2 weeks. So what would my exponent be in this case?
14.
14.
Oh boy.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's punch it in. See what you get. You need a real calculator so you can make sure you know what you're doing.
Maybe.
I want
to borrow one?
boy. I've got one.
Try it.
It's in my backpack.
It's pink.
Carrie, so who's gonna win?
It's cool.
No.
Mmm.
Carrie, what's the other team that's playing?
I'd like Clemson to win. Fair today.
Yeah, I got it.
Probably.
Wow.
But
That's exactly.
Alabama is stacked with a whole bunch of 5 stars.
That's the answer.
So they should.
172,800.
172800.
In other words, 172,800. Wait, what? No, that's not right. What did you do?
I plugged in that.
No, you're right. 172,800 is correct.
I'll do the next one as well.
It's the second biggest all.
I thought we were doing the last one.
Super Bowl. I like this one more than the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I do
too. From
Well,
like,
37180
Okay, so these are living
organisms.
organisms. So we're gonna round up because it's decay. You round up because it's decay, and you should get 627 for this one.
Wait. I'll double check you on
I
that.
usually can get it to where it doesn't dolphin, but get dolphin.
Everybody
No,
trying to put some
it's
in the jam?
626.9133128.
Great. Which would round to 627. All right, and number 14. Does anybody see the word compound in this problem? Nope, so let's not use that formula, okay? Same thing should happen on your quiz Wednesday. If you see the word compound, use the compound interest formula. If you don't, use the other one. Are we clear? Good, all right. So this is 35,000. I'm depreciating, well, this printer is. So 1, and, all right, this is interesting because this should say the end. It says the word need. Should be the end of the 4th year. The end of the 4th year. So that would be 4. What if it said the beginning of the 4th year? That would be 3. All right, so hopefully you did some of those tricky problems back in 9th grade, and I don't have to do them now. Okay, so for this one, we should find an estimated cost of this printer of $28,507.72. Now, number 15 is a great problem because you guys are quite young and you have lots of time, hopefully, lots of time to make good decisions. But you have to have knowledge to make good decisions. So, this number 15, listen.
I'm just trying to press my shoulder. My shoulder's
I think
sore.
he's flirting with me.
She did it first, alright?
All right. So, the first thing you're going to do is double the amount invested. So, instead of 5,000, try 10. The second scenario says double the interest rate. Okay, that sounds fabulous, but that's generally not an option you have. Like, I can't walk into Delta Credit Union and go, you know what, I'm not real happy with my 0.25% on my savings account. Can we just double that, please? I mean, I guess I could. And they go, well, ma'am, that's a great idea, but that's not something we can do. So, this is something we don't really have control over. We can control the amount we invest initially, And this is another one that we can control. How long we invest. Okay? So, let's try A, B, and C, and then we're going to talk about D. Everybody in here. This is important. This is like real life.
I got 108, 471.
Okay, that's...
But see, I just want to be back in line with Hayes. That's all I want.
Girl, you can watch
But there's
Is
is it 471?
I need leg space, and Cole allowed me some.
Hey, come in. Go ahead. Go on in.
Under?
She doesn't even know.
Is there a basket? Yeah, there's a basket. Maybe we should rip off the basket?
Did you bring your wire cutters?
Maybe, let me
Did
try.
you bring your blowtorch?
South Florida or Clemson.
That's for welding. I don't.
Yeah, and it's metal. You're supposed to weld it to get it
Oh
off.
my gosh.
Duh.
It's okay if you don't care.
I know, it's just.
I can't find them. Sorry.
I'm scared.
Did you?
I left
Maybe
the
she's
classroom.
more concerned about it.
See, I didn't know what you would know.
Escalator.
She's
worried about
Just later.
Maybe you should focus on eating breakfast.
She's really good at eating.
Wait, do you put the decimal?
Mitchell's
Yes,
never
we're
been
talking
there.
It's
about
money,
you.
so you get two of them.
One,
Probably been there.
Chill.
hey,
Never?
trust.
Mitchell is not once
No.
picky.
You're gonna knock it off my head, and then I'm gonna have to pick it up, and you're gonna do that little.
Are we not anything good today, Miss Wilbur?
That one.
With this, we've been doing this line something new the whole class.
Hey,
This formula's not good, I already know this.
Well, good.
wow,
Flipper.
that is.
It's not new.
No, it's not.
So you weren't floating with me earlier?
The amount. All right, let's put it this way.
So, yeah.
I'd rather flirt with a boulder.
She's not looking.
Sorry, I just want to see that.
Here, I'll show Carrie first. Carrie's in this one.
Does the boulder have
All right, Claire. Start
One
one
way, it's a double.
I'm giving Hayes your pen.
Okay,
That's Aaron.
alright. I need everybody to pay attention for a second.
Time's your investment.
I don't get to teach you a lot of things that actually matter, but this one does. Okay? So let's look at this for a second. If we double the amount we invest, do y'all see that it basically doubles our output?
Yeah.
We double our input, it doubles our output. We don't get to choose our interest rate, but this would be nice. Yay, if I could double my interest rate, look, wow, that made a huge change, didn't it? This is the one we can do something about. And it's the amount of time we invest our money. So, y'all are young. You've got a shot at making financial decisions that will put you in really good places when you're my age.
Or dead.
Or when you're 60. Or you can make decisions that are going to put you in, I'm barely making it paycheck to paycheck situations. I mean, you have choices, no matter how much you take in. This is the part that should make a big deal. You should be like, wow. Because if you start saving, even if it's just a little bit, when you're young, and it has a longer amount of time to compound, it makes a huge difference. So, I was 24 when I started saving for retirement. Hopefully you guys will start before then. We started 529s for both of our kids when they were like, as soon as we got birth certificates back, when they were a month old. So, we're not wealthy people, but we can put away a little bit for a long time so that we can retire and we can travel and do the things I want to do. And we can give. It puts us in a situation where later on, when all I get is a little bit of teacher retirement, I can still give to those that need. So this is the huge part for you guys. This is the part that can change your future. Because it makes a huge difference when you start. Okay? That's all I have to say.
I'm trying to go to Brussels.
All right. Half-life. Back to something that won't affect many of you. Very good. Half is 0.5.
Good job,
Half
man.
is 1/2, 0.5. I like it. All right. Now, I don't know, maybe some of you will major in waste management. which you might laugh, but it's not funny.
Sanitation.
It actually makes a lot of money.
It makes bank.
Now, this waste management is a little bit scarier than some because this has to do with radioactive material.
That's
All right,
Like nukes and stuff?
so let's talk about how long it takes reactive material to deteriorate. And
What are you doing?
what we're looking at is half-life. How long it takes for half of the substance to deteriorate. So the first one we're going to look at is radium-226. It has a half-life of a little bit longer than most of us will live, 1,620 years. Yeah, just a little. All right, so if we were to write an equation that represents the half-life of radium, the amount left with respect to time is equal to the initial amount. Now, in this first equation, they didn't tell us the initial amount. And in math and science, when we talk about an initial amount, we use the little zero, naught. We would say a naught, nothing, at time zero. Okay? So this is the amount at time zero, or the initial amount. That's what these things mean. Okay? Now it's half-life, so this would be 1/2. Now we always raise it to the number of half-life periods. And to find the half-life period, you take the time in years and divide by its half-life in years. So in this case, T would represent time in years. And this gives us the number of half-life periods. So, if we started with a 20-gram sample of radium-226, and we're trying to figure out how much is remaining after 5,000 years. So the amount after 5,000 years would be the 20 we started with, its half-life, and how many time periods are there in 5,000 years. So we do 5,000 divide by its half-life. And the half-life for radium-226 is 1,620 years. Now, this is a measurable substance, so we can come up with decimals for this. It's not a discrete quantity like living organisms. So this is a measurable mass, and it's okay to say it's approximately 2.355 grams. And that's how you do that.
Good job.
Okay, so you try. You try. So first you write an equation, like we did, similar to that. And then you use that equation to solve.
Wait, we got homework tonight?
It is math.
Take that as a yes.
I don't want this.
I don't want cold grades. I'm not taking them
I
home
don't
to
know why
them.
you're looking at
Oh,
them.
give me that.
Yeah.
You did good. You got a 90?
They were underneath my stack of, I never looked at them, not even once.
Cole's my dog.
Here's your calculator.
That's not mine.
Yes.
Huh? That's not my calculator.
Cole's not doing anything.
You passed
Just
it?
get on to him.
Bro, he's probably still asleep.
It'll just
Here you go.
Oh, sorry, I
You're just
don't
laying
have
in bed
fingers,
like
I can't do that.
I watched Cole sleep 28 hours straight.
28 hours straight?
Okay, that's weird.
You watched him for 28 hours.
I spent the night at his house and then I left and I came back and he was still asleep. What was I doing over here?
That sounds good.
He's like, hey dude, it's a great Saturday, isn't it? I was like, dude, it's Sunday.
That's
Okay, take a look at the answers and see if you have any questions for me.
Give it to her.
And then your homework is 1 through 11.